What's up, my dog?
Someone's at the door. Hold on. Beware of dogs. How's it going, Ty?
I'm doing so good, mi amigo. I have traversed around Europe, and now I have returned with a newfound lust for life that I'm bringing into this podcast booth today.
I can smell the lust you're bringing into this episode right now. It's inspiring, I gotta say, man. Do you find that you are refreshed, reinvigorated, perchance?
I am. I feel like the salty Mediterranean water has just helped cleansed my pores. Yeah, everything's good. I have no more bags on my eyes. I have no more strain on my neck. I have no more footlongs in my stomach. A whole week cleansed.
That's right, dude. You've cleansed your body, your mind, and your stomach.
Yeah.
Your skin's looking clear. You know what I mean? Your eyes have a little twinkle in them. I'm so happy for you, Ty. But I'm also selfishly, I'm happier that you're back. You know what I mean? We can only survive on pre-recorded episodes for so long. So we're back. You know, it's Tuesday. We're ready to fucking drop new thing fresh.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, dude, so much happens in a week that we can't comment on until now. So we have to really dig into like, what's going on in the culture. But I'm prepared for it. You know, I've been on a juice cleanse the last week. And by that, I mean, I've been drinking cava and red wine on the Spanish seaside. And that has really helped just kind of reinvigorate me with the brain power I need to get through this conversation with you.
Oh, dude. This interaction requires a lot of effort, and you know, the haters don't want to admit it, but we are burning a lot of calories right now in the booth.
For sure. It's like chess, you know. This is chess now.
I burned
Jay-Z
more calories
hit me on the
playing chess.
email. This is chess now.
Wow. Jersey Drake Rogers at hotmail.com. Yo, tell me about your trip. So you went to Amsterdam, you went to Spain, Mallorca. Did everything go smoothly? Or, you know, summer's over, so I don't imagine the Europeans are striking as hard as they were when I was there. But tell me, like, did you run into any roadblocks, or was it smooth swimming?
Smooth swimming indeed. Yeah, we're in the shoulder season now, which means Bay's got no shoulders on her sleeves, and we're just hanging in the sun. It's quiet. It's easy. The dam, as the locals call it, Amsterdam, you and I, was very, very fun place. What a weird place, you know? It's so like socially liberal, but also so like just calm. It's like everyone's just vibing, you know? So you just like rent a bike and then just try to be as cool as everyone around you. It's so hard because you're just like taking photos of all the canals.
When you arrived there, you described that place as having no ego. What does that mean exactly? How does a city not have an ego?
Yeah, it's because everyone is just hanging out. And I didn't get the sense that in Amsterdam there was a lot of like clout chasing happening. People just want to like do their thing. And the thing that they're doing is effortlessly cool. But then they're not really like, no one really is like showing off or trying to like, I feel like because Europe's like economically is relying on tourism 100% for all business, that there is no like real, there's no real drive there. You know, people just want to like smoke and sit on a patio. So,
damn, you just like, I need to fire my therapist because you figured me out in like one trip to Amsterdam.
right?
You suddenly understand where I'm coming from in all these years, right?
100%. It makes so much sense. But also, they're all just like, they don't care what anybody does. They're just like, do whatever you want here. It's Amsterdam, you know? Like, you want to go like meet a whore, that we don't even call them that here because they're a part of our economy, you know.
100%.
Go do weird drugs, and as long as you don't pee in the canal, do whatever you want here. We don't care. It's so nice.
I love that.
Mhm.
There's yeah, dude. I mean, it's kind of like two different like parenting styles, right? It's like if you are a really strict parent that doesn't let your kid do anything, then they
Mhm.
might rebel against you and, you know, try to get as rich as possible, like America. Or you can be the type of parent that's like laid back and, allow your kid to wander off once in a while and figure themselves out and then just trust that they'll come home on time, things like that. That's Amsterdam, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
they
just
might come
Europe
ho
in general.
I think so. They're gonna come home with a cigarette in hand and, loose
A
pair
new
of
lease on
fitting old
life,
Levi's.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll
But
finally understand the world, you know what I mean?
mhm.
That's awesome.
And the, urban planning of Amsterdam is so fascinating. They really do have a lot of canals, but they're not really braggy about it, you know? Like, Los Angeles is more braggy about its one little canal district than Amsterdam is about their entire city.
Yeah, the LA
Mhm.
River is not really something to brag about. The
No.
like the man-made like sewage canal or whatever that thing is. Um, did you know people actually
Mhm.
fish in that? Like I learned people
No, dude.
fish in the LA River, and that's
Is
just
that
like
where
I think that's where like COVID happened actually. That's the ground
dude,
zero of COVID.
that's where Subway sources its seafood medley from.
Exactly. They just have a net, and then anything gets caught in the net ends in the bucket.
Mhm. Yikes. Yeah, it's between, like, an
Shit.
old Reebok shoe and, some discarded Sephora packaging, and there you'll
Yeah,
find
there's
a
a
little
steering
tiny
wheel in
shrimp.
there. um, Excellent. So you spent a couple of days there. Did you get to
Mhm.
try like a lot of different kinds of food, or like what was the culinary scene like? Because
Oh, man.
there's no excuse in those northern European countries to not have good food. London somehow breaks the rule, but
Mhm.
why like why is that, and what was the best thing you had?
That's a great question there, Eric. Well, I didn't have too many meals, to be honest. This whole like Euro jump, throwing off the sleep schedule and then throwing off the eating schedule means that I was never really timing my like meal time out with the restaurant hours that were serving dinner. So I found myself throughout the whole trip, both in Spain and in Amsterdam, struggling to get to a restaurant before it stopped serving food. Um, so having said that, I still managed to find a few interesting meals. I tried escargot for the first time in Amsterdam. Have you ever had escargot, Eric?
Oh yeah, dude. I went escargot crazy when I was in Paris last time. Like I think it was like first time Bay had it, and then she
Hmm.
loved it, so we had it like probably once a day the entire week we were there.
Yeah, you're slurping all over Paris.
Yeah, dude, sucking up those slugs and snails all
Hmm.
day.
Yeah, dude,
How were they?
I'm Escar Pro now because I'm here for it.
Mhm. How are they prepared over there? Because I found in Paris, they're like, no matter where you go, it's like the exact same dish. And I think it's
Mm.
like the French urge to not change anything,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know?
Well, I went to a French restaurant for it, so it was probably the same, but they served it in a little tiny dish that kind of looked like a little poached egg pot. Each escargot little slug chilling in their little cup, kind of like a
Hmm.
mussel escaped its shell. And
Hmm.
then they had baked it in some sauce that was green. I can't even remember what the sauce was. Could have been sweet onion for all I know. But I just remember the texture of
It's
that
not Green
slug.
Goddess.
It's the green goddess dressing.
So I think it
Oh,
was the same because
yeah.
I would describe it as like a garlicky, like green,
Yes.
like salsa verde type of sauce.
Yes, exactly. Kinda like a chimichurri sauce, actually.
Oh
Yeah, like a
yeah, there
French
you go.
chimichurri. Mhm.
Hmm. Dude, so good. I actually am craving that now.
Dude, I wanna
Um,
pop one right now. When are we getting that on the menu, Subway?
yeah, dude. While you were slurping back escargots, I was crushing 2 dozen oysters with Bay last Friday.
Oh, damn.
That's like North America's version of escargot, I guess.
It's the closest we'll get because the oyster does has the largest mollusk inside it. So
Yeah.
and man, similar texture. So weird. It's just like
Hmm.
goo. It's like if you have a loogie that you, like, let harden a little bit.
That's right. That's why it's an aphrodisiac. You're basically just
I guess
spitting in
so.
your own mouth.
Mhm. Damn, slug spit.
um, where do snails and other garden creatures land on a vegetarian's kill list?
Dude, I think it's like us everyone has to pick a side at some point, right?
Yeah.
And I'm completely comfortable with insect consumption because I don't really think that they matter.
Insect lives don't matter, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately, they do not.
Damn.
Hey, I'm gonna kill a spider and I'm gonna eat a cricket and I'm gonna eat a slug if it's
Hmm.
prepared in chimichurri sauce. If I find a slug in the Subway lettuce, you know that shit's going back. Send that back to the
Oh,
kitchen.
for sure. Yeah, if a tatted chef with like a touch of gray prepared it, then
Mhm.
I'll eat it. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm. If it's the only thing on the plate, it's in my mouth, but if it's hidden under a leaf of spinach, a little surprise slugging,
Yeah.
if you will,
If it's
that's going
still
back to the kitchen.
if it's googly eyes are still kind of poking around, then yeah, I'm gonna have to send that back. You
Yeah, dude, when the escargot wiggle a little bit, it's too fresh.
know? Oh man. Okay, so you left the drug and sex capital of the world
Mhm.
to go to an island
Yes, a
on
completely a 180-degree pivot to the Spanish island of Majorca for
yeah.
a week of fun in the sun.
Yeah, I mean, where I was going with that was like depends on the island you're going to. It could be a
Mm.
lateral move, but it sounds like it was a 180. It's a good kind of island. So,
Good kind of island. I mean, like, okay, so like it's not a Ibiza party, but like I think Palma has quite which is the capital of Majorca, has quite a bit of party in there. I know that because a girl that works at the bar who's like 21 said that she went there and she said she stayed in a hostel and partied the whole time. But I didn't go into Palma. I rented a car and then I immediately headed into the mountains for a few days and then to the coastal coves for a few days and just swam in the sun every day and drank
hmm
cava and ate shrimp, little shrimpies every night, and fresh orange juice every morning.
brilliant. I'm looking at
Hmm.
the map here, Ty, and Mallorca is an island
Facts.
sandwiched between two smaller ones. One
Minorca and
is
Ibiza.
Menorca, oh, okay, and Ibiza.
Hmm.
So, did you stay on the main island of Mallorca?
The big one, Majorca, is how it's spelled, right?
Majorca.
Yeah, the big boy. It's not that big though. You can cross it in like an hour.
Okay, by car, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And so where did you go? You didn't go to the city, the main city of
No,
Palma.
which I kind of regret because like that's where like the Four Seasons is and stuff. So there's probably some good shit in there. That's probably where the Loewe store was.
Right,
But
right, right.
it's cool. It's cool. Up into the mountains, inside the mountains of Mallorca, there's all these little Spanish like ancient towns. They're very photogenic, nested in the hills. Lots of like green window sills and cobblestone pathways you can get lost in. Boutique shops and patios overlooking valleys. Really a very romantic place to be. Sometimes you treated to a glimpse of the ocean between the hills.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Then on the East Coast, you have these incredible coves with turquoise green water. Sometimes they have little white sand beaches that you can swim on, and they're all peppered across the island. Or you can find some rocky cliffs to jump off of straight into the Mediterranean Sea. The water's so salty and buoyant that you can just easily float there. Perhaps
Mm-hmm.
enjoy some fine wine on the coastline,
Now you're talking my language, dude.
dude.
Sounds
Yeah, it's
like just looking at like photos, it looks very similar to the Croatian landscape. Just like
mhm.
rocky, less sand over in Croatia, but generally speaking, I'm sure it's very similar. Water temperature and like saltiness as well. So
Mhm.
that makes me very happy to hear.
It's a fairly
Um,
probably more touristy than Croatia though, because I think it's kind of like the Mexico of Europe. Like if you're anywhere in a like all the Brits and
mhm,
Germans probably go there to like have their summer vacation. So there's
mhm,
quite a it's quite built up for resorts and stuff. But we're
mhm.
traveling off season, so it's fairly quiet. And if you avoid those
Nice.
towns, but those towns are all on the best beaches, so that's unfortunate.
So wait, which towns are the most touristy then? The ones on the East Coast?
And mostly the ones on the East Coast and in the North. In the North half, there's some ginormous, beautiful white sand bays, and they're just completely littered in resorts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
did I did go up there to the north for one night. There's a town in the north called Alcudia, Eric, and Alcudia is an old Roman fort that the empire set up camp in, and they built this. It still has a ancient Roman city there that they've even has the old stone walls surrounding the city still up, and you can walk on the walls and stuff. So I spent one night in that town because I wanted to go up there and I wanted to have some Italian food up there, right?
Nice.
Craving some
Yeah, I'm looking at
Italian.
it right now.
So,
This
but
looks sick.
I'm about to tell you a story, Eric, because I had the worst Italian food of my entire life there. Entire life. I cannot think of a worse
Damn.
pasta than I've had in that town. I gotta tell you
Hmm.
why.
Yeah, I need to know more about this because it's actually really interesting that
Mhm,
your proximity to Italy compared to like where we are now in North
mhm,
America is so close, right? It's like you would expect the food to be that much better or that much more
mhm.
similar to what you'd get in Italy, but it's actually not the case because no
It's
Italians are moving to Mallorca.
I guess
they,
that's the
they have too
case.
big of an ego to do that. You know what I mean?
For sure. So I just assumed that like I had a low bar because I'm like Italian food in Canada is pretty good. If your geographic proximity to Italy is that tight, it must just by default be better. But I'm not even expecting that. I'm expecting at worst it to be as good as Canada, which is fine. So heading to the Roman town, so excited to crave some Italian food when I get there. I've already scoped out a few good looking spots in the city that are walking distance from my boutique hotel.
Hmm.
As I'm leaving the beach, a French woman flags me over and she says, "Bonjour, bonjour. My car battery is fried. I need some help." And of course, car guy immediately triggered. Must help the poor
Hmm.
French woman.
The masculine urge to jumpstart a stranger's vehicle.
Exactly. So I pull over, trying to help out. There's already another car there with the hood up, trying to help trumpet, but they can't figure out how to hook up the wires. That's my thing. I walk
Oh
up, I look at
man.
their engine. I think I've never seen anything like this before. The North American mind could not comprehend the European engine. But I'm like,
Yeah. What is this, a four cylinder? My brother in Christ, you're missing four other cylinders.
no. So what I realized we were actually looking at was an electric car. The dude popped the hood with an electric car, thinking he could jump a gas vehicle, which it turns out
Oh
you
wait.
can't do. You can't jump a petrol vehicle with an electric engine.
Oh,
They're
electric
they're
cars
not
really said
cross
like
compatible.
they really said like we don't want anything to do with you guys.
Mhm. Yeah, they
Wow.
literally leaving them in the dust.
Well, yeah, I
So,
guess I guess the battery in an electric car is like the entire base of the car. Like you
mhm.
can't just like hook into it, right?
Yeah, it's literally built different.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I rented a petrol vehicle because I'm not a dummy, and I pop the hood. Takes a little while to figure out because the orientation of it is not like my car. And then I got really nervous because I was like, "Fuck! If I fry this battery, that's on my bill with Enterprise when I get back
Oh.
to Palma." And then I'm looking at
Hmm.
her car. I'm like, "Shit! Her battery is buried so deep in here. The European build on actually it was actually a Ford Transit. um,
Wait, hold
so
on.
yeah,
She was this like old lady was driving a Ford like van,
yeah,
and you were driving what?
a Pugo 2000. The model's called
A
2008 for some
Peugeot?
reason, which is Peugeot. Yeah, dude, why would they name an SUV the model 2008? It's confusing. It makes you think that's the year.
You had an S. Wait, it's not a hatchback?
It's a compact SUV,
Oh, interesting, interesting.
which is a
Okay,
little
I didn't
bit
know.
dicey on some of those like hairline mountainous roads, but I made
Yeah,
it through.
dude. Over in Italy, like, or not Italy, over in Europe, where they, or I guess in North America, they charge more for like a larger vehicle. But over there,
Hmm.
it's like they charge less because it's hard to drive those fucking tiny ass streets. So you want to
Dude,
drive
it's
this
so
van? Like, all right, I'll give you half off.
the fucking clown at Enterprise. I rented a really small vehicle because I thought parking would be easy, right? And then when I show up
Hmm.
to get it, the man says, "Oh, we've upgraded you to this compact SUV." And I look at it and say, "Bro, I don't want that. Give me my small ass compact." He's like,
Hmm.
we don't have it." Like, "You rented the car I
Damn.
booked?" He's like, "Yeah." So I was
Oh
stuck
my
with it, but it
God,
was a
bro.
nicer whip. It was a nicer ride in the
Oh,
end.
It's
But I
unbelievable how you can like reserve a car and
mhm.
your reservation actually means nothing at the end of the
It
day.
means nothing to them. They
It's
just wanna
insane.
secure the funds.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we end up eventually getting the car jumped, but now I'm running late for dinner. I gotta dip to Alcudia to have some Italian food. So I'm driving in the dark now. I'm heading to town. I roll up a little bit too late. Quickly freshen up in the room, put on my good pants, head downstairs
Mhm.
into the city street. Gotta find a place to eat. Head to the highest ranking Italian restaurant within walking distance of the hotel, and they will not seat us. They said it's
Was
too
it
late.
Osteria El Patio?
It was. Good pull.
Actually,
Dude's got Google Maps up. Yeah, El
I had that
Patio.
open for the last 5 minutes, and I immediately caught my eye because it was called El Patio.
Mhm. Damn.
That's something that you'd find in a gentrified neighborhood. It's like a Mexican restaurant called El Patio.
Yeah, but even the hotel clerk that checked us in, she said, "You gotta go to El Patio." So, we knew that was the
Really?
move, but
But
they
it was
wouldn't seat
full.
us. It was too late because of the, French woman. Um,
This looks pretty good,
yeah,
bro.
they
I'm sad you
the
missed
kitchen.
out. This
I
tiramisu
know.
looks adorable.
I love me a tiramisu. So I now am roaming the streets trying to find an alternative, and I didn't really feel like tapas. There was a pizza place, but the vibes were off. And then I see this Italian restaurant that looks absolutely bonkers. And it was actually across the street from the one you just found. It looked like this Italian ballroom. Maybe you can find it.
Caseta?
Starts with an S, Sanatiani or something like that. I can pull up the name if you want. You're clicking around, you're clicking around. I'll give you the name for it. I have it
Saplaza?
saved.
Saplaca?
Cetricone. Cetricone.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check out that crazy interior. The interior is actually really cool.
Dude, holy shit. This looks like a palace or like
Yeah,
some kind of like old like ballroom.
yeah,
Yeah,
wild
this
ass
looks
place.
bonkers. But also the chairs are gonna like they kind of tell me that it's gonna be, you're in for a ride, I guess is the right way to
Yeah,
say
you're in
it.
for an experience either way. Posted up outside. Had some really good sangria. The sangria in general on that island is a 100% impressive.
Oh hell yeah.
Then ordered the mains, got spaghetti frutti del mar and some cacio e pepe, two
Mm,
classic dishes. And when they
classics.
showed up, I was like, "Oh, these look okay." And then I ate them and I thought, "Oh, these are not quite as good as the penne I had on the airplane here."
Oh no.
um,
Wow.
I know.
So it was worse than the Delta Airlines
Deltas.
penne?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know how they messed it up so bad, but I'll talk you through them both. Like I'm going to show you a photo of first the frutti del mar spaghetti. That's what it looked like when it was
Oh,
served.
okay. Looks a
Looks
little watery.
a little watery. Yeah. The seafood in it was fascinating. It was mostly shrimp, but the shrimp just kind of tasted like I was like chewing on like a water bottle that had been poached because it was just like
Oh
plasticky, no
no.
no flavor, no taste of shrimp. All of the seafood flavor was in the noodle itself. Every bite just tasted like fish from the LA River, you know?
Oh
And it was
no.
so intense. But then the shrimp itself had nothing left in it.
So you're saying it
So
was seasoned with microplastics?
I think so. I think it was the microplastic. And then we'll move
Oh,
on to the cacio pepe. I'm going to
just so
show you a
everyone's
photo of this.
aware, this place has a 3.8 on Google Maps.
Yeah,
Are you
always
aware of
check the
that when you
numbers. Got to run the numbers.
were you aware of
Uh,
this when you went in?
I quickly glanced at it and I thought, "There's no way. This place looks crazy."
Oh man.
It's all
I
fives and
searched
ones. There's no two, threes, or fours in the ratings.
interesting. I'm looking at the reviews right now.
But while you're looking that up, I gotta show you this Cacio e Pepe because you're gonna look at it and be like, "What am I looking at?" Okay, photo reveal.
Oh my god.
So
What is going on there?
first of all, the noodle is like a pretty thick penne, kind of cooked, kind of not, and then
Looks like a
this,
rigatoni.
yeah, it's a kind of a rigatoni. And then the sauce is like completely separated from the noodle and then globulated into little balls on the top.
Oh
And it was
no.
just so weird how texturally it had become like a battleground, you know?
Yeah, the texture
Sounds
story
rough.
here was is
Oh,
not
man.
good. Um, this reminds me of my Italian food experience in Mexico when I had it at all inclusive. I think that was the worst Italian I've ever had in my life. And yeah, it was like similar story. It's like the sauce and the pasta noodles were not talking to each other. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
were they were in separate beds.
Yeah, they've been segregated. So that
Yeah.
was what was happening here. So I couldn't finish both dishes, Eric. It was
Uh,
rough, but sangria was great, service was great. The interior of that place was wild, so
it's
I don't know what to
actually
do about this.
when the food's that bad, it's almost worse when the service is good because then you
Mhm.
like just feel so bad about it and you're like, I can't complain. If they're mean to you, you can totally like rip one for them. But if
Mhm.
they're nice and they serve you like a monstrosity like that, you almost have to just like take the L and like leave a good tip and then leave. You know what I mean?
Facts. Dude, that's how I feel about every Subway experience. The sandwich artist, I feel bad for them because they don't know the monstrosity that they made.
Yeah, dude. They brought this thing into the world and it didn't need it to be.
Mhm. Yeah, so, I mean, like, I after that, I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm going back to eating delicious olives every day. Maybe this pasta isn't the move here." But then a few days later, I had some really amazing, like, truffle gnocchi with black caviar on it, and that blew my mind. So,
Oh yeah, dude.
I got back eventually.
Hmm. Perfect. Yeah, the only way to like get over a experience like that is to either go to like a Michelin star dinner the next day or like have
Mm,
like 8 Negronis.
facts. Yeah,
Just
my
forget
trick is,
about
like,
it.
or double down. That's what I do in Subway. I just go back and try again, never give up. Run the play one more time.
That's true. It can't possibly be as bad as last time.
It can't possibly. And you
Yeah.
become destigmatized to it.
If you go in with low expectations, then you can sometimes get away with it, right? It's
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
know it's
but
gonna suck, and then you get it. It's like a 1 out of 10. You're like, oh, well, I was projecting a 0 out of 10, so this is fine.
facts. But other than that, dude, food's amazing, Like, I had some really like, they have so many citrus plants just growing wild there, like oranges and
Mm.
limes and lemons, so I had some really nice, like, lemon crepes, really nice orange
Oh.
sorbet, orange juice, all that stuff. Olive trees growing wild everywhere, so the olives were impeccable, the
Hmm.
wine was good, the olive oil was good, whole
Brilliant.
all of that stuff. Good seafood, had good shrimp in some places, tuna. I was dabbling in
Hmm.
a seafood medley while I was there. I tried every
I was
fish
gonna
under the
ask.
ocean. I had
I was gonna ask
calamari.
if the seafood medley was good.
Yeah, dude. My stomach was a seafood medley by the end of the trip.
Amazing. Were there any surprising dishes on the menus where you like, I have to try this, or something you were like, I'm gonna avoid this at all costs? Any
Yeah, there was
surprises?
one. Yeah, I was sitting, like, beachside at a nice restaurant one evening, and I looked to the table across from me, and their table looks like a sail like a fishing boat, because the way that the plate is arranged on the white tablecloth is there's this like skewer pointing straight
Oh,
down, hanging like a little cirque de skewer happening here, and then a bunch of
huh.
shrimp and salmon are climb their way up there. There was like a vertical skewer in the middle of the dish, salmon and shrimp. So I had to order that. I had to figure out what was going on there. It was really good. It was like
Interesting.
every yeah, I don't even know how to describe to the breadheads. Maybe you could do a better job. I did send you a fit picture of that dish.
That's right. I laughed because I did remember you send me a very underexposed photo of a seafood tower with like a sword going through like chunks of fish,
Mhm.
which looked very evil, I have to say. Um, but yeah, it looked good. I guess it was like just yeah, imagine a skewer but like jumbo sized
Mhm.
and just like big chunks of grilled fish on there with like that's like standing up, like perfectly vertical, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you know?
Yeah, dude. It was very foreboding in that sense. It reminds me of what's that? The ancient Greek legend, the sword of Damocles, something like that.
It's like
Demoses.
it's like the one where it's like if you pull the sword out of the rock, then you become king or whatever.
No, dude, it's the one where the peasant becomes a king, but in his throne, hanging above him by a horsehair, is a very large sword waiting to fall. at any
Oh.
moment that leaves him stressed to hold the he had to watch the throne, if you will. Um, and that's kinda how the shrimp skewer and salmon skewer looked, but instead of over top of a king, it was over top of some baked potatoes.
Brilliant. Wow. So you've been to Italy, you've been to Spain. What has the better food?
I think Italy overall trumps because it has all my favorite food. It's got the pasta, it's got the pizza, it's got the penne, the olio.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Italy is like Michael Jackson because all they have is hits. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Their entire
Facts.
catalog is hits. A little bit of
Yeah,
questionable
dude.
history, but a lot of hits.
Mhm. If Italy is Michael Jackson, does that make Cheesecake Factory Drake? Because Drake's got a
Oh.
lot of tracks, and Cheesecake Factory's got, like, 12 pages of food from every corner of the earth.
It's probably like Chris Brown. It's like
Mm,
don't want to go there, but they have a lot of food. And when every time I go there, I know what I'm getting. You know what I mean?
I'm getting Chris Brown, baby.
You're getting Chris Brown. The Chris Brown bread is good too.
Yeah, the Chris Brown butter pasta.
Wow. Oh man, seeing you in taking a little Thai dip in the
Mm,
Mediterranean
Thai
made
time.
me Thai time made me very eager to get out of here as well. So I'm gonna have to plan something soon, Thai. I'm just itching to get out of here. But one last
Mhm.
question about your trip. You had a layover in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
I did.
Did
It was a
you?
treacherous 7-hour shift hanging out at SeaTac Airport.
Oh no, you were there for 7 hours?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, what the fuck?
Anything to
Could
save a
have just
couple bucks
driven
on a
there.
flight. I know, I actually after I booked it, I thought, "What how do I avoid doing this?" But in the end, it wasn't so bad because you land and you immediately post up at, one of the lounges and just hang out there for the day.
So, did the meatballs keep you company then? Like, how did the
Dude,
meatball subs treat you that
yeah,
time?
so I know you've had fairly, cursed experiences with the meatballs at the Delta Airport Lounge in Seattle. I didn't go there. I wasn't allowed in because I didn't have the right credit cards. Bullshit. So I had to go to, a public access lounge where you pay a small fee to enter, the C Club, they call it.
That's the one I went to.
Oh, no way, you went to the C Club,
Yeah.
okay. So I looked at the same meatballs as you.
Yeah,
I
dude.
found the
That's what I'm
meatballs.
saying. We experienced the same meatballs. We're meatball brothers.
We're meatball brothers.
Meatball
Uh,
brothers.
yeah, closer than blood.
Absolutely, dude. The blood in my veins is actually marinara sauce.
Dude, that lounge is legit though. Like the guy serving the cocktails was so like monotone and the food was mids but unlimited, so I just ate so much quinoa salad. And so
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
they
touch
have the
the
quinoa too.
I didn't eat the meatballs. I looked at them, I longed for them, I thought about you in a couple of
I'm so
moments.
happy. I'm so happy that the meatballs reminded you of me. But you didn't even take a little nibble.
Oh, dude, can I not get a bite? No. I watched a few other, like, really hungry fat men, uh, dip their toes in there.
Hmm. Yeah, dude. That meatball experience was similar to your cacio e pepe experience. Like, I
Mm,
needed to have like several drinks after to forget about it. But at the end of the day, I was happy that it did fill me up. So I didn't have to touch any of the cursed plain food.
that's very good. Yeah, so I found out that these clubs, they're all like a 3-hour limit on stay. That's, I guess, where the unlimited alcohol becomes unprofitable for them at the 3-hour mark. But I found out this hack is that they will let you in the club if you show the ticket. If you have a long ass layover like I did, if you show the
Mm.
ticket for the flight that you just came off of, not the flight you're waiting for, they'll still let you in. So they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you have evidence of a ticket. We'll let you in, but you have
Hmm.
to leave in 3 hours." But then if you just don't leave, they don't check. So you can just stay as long as you want.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think the time limit thing is really enforced. Like they're not gonna
Oh,
come in and be like, take your meatball sub out of your hands, be like, time's up, buddy, get the fuck out of here.
time's up.
Like they do that
T-
at Subway, but not at the SeaTac lounge, you know?
Yeah, they're not. There's no
Uh,
closing time there, dude. Casinos open all night.
exactly. I need to like okay, so last time I was there. The only reason why I went to this pedestrian public access lounge, it's kind of like the public bathroom of the airport.
Mhm.
Like, I reluctantly went there because all the other lounges were far away and my
Mm.
layover was only like an hour. Unbeknownst to me, my flight would be delayed like 2 hours. So I could have went somewhere else.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
being worried that I would miss my flight, I had to stay near the gate. So fortunately, I had to stare those meatballs down for longer than I wanted.
Uh, the director's cut, if you will.
Yeah, dude, the 3 hour fucking Blade Runner extended cut.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but overall positive experience, would dine there again. I quite like
Okay,
their
damn.
salad dressing selection.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, the veggie platter was like what you would expect, I guess.
Yep.
Like unwashed baby carrots. It's like, yeah, fine.
Kind of place you're gonna find a slug under the romaine lettuce leaf.
Yeah, dude, the complimentary escargot at the SEA-TAC lounge was not good.
No. But, you can't go wrong with a free pint of beer and,
Oh,
perhaps a
dude,
Campari soda. Gets you through the
100%.
day. I
Yeah.
love leaving the lounge buzzed before the flight because especially for international, you're just walking out to go sit somewhere else for 7 more hours and drink more free alcohol, so life is good.
It is good. And then, like, if you do happen to sober up on the flight, that's when the real flight starts. You know what I mean? Like, the first like
Mhm.
3 hours are like a write off, and then you're
Mhm.
like, okay, I only have like 4 hours left of this flight. We're good to
Yeah,
go.
dude. And then they serve you some airline food pasta, and you think to yourself, "Thank God I'm going somewhere with better food than this."
What's it called? Al Qaeda? Oh, Al Qudia.
Damn.
Brody went to Al Qaeda and thought the Italian food would be good.
Yeah, dude. Uh,
Fuck.
there's probably
Yeah,
another pun in
man.
there, but it's escaping me right now.
Yeah, I mean, at least you didn't have explosive diarrhea from the Al
There we
Qaeda
go.
seafood.
Uh,
Fuck.
brilliant. While I was away, Eric, something big happened.
Yeah.
We were blessed by, the Papa with a
Poppy
new
himself.
Papi himself. Some new music has blessed our
Hmm.
eardrums. How many
When you
times
were
have you ridden back for all the dogs?
many, many times, but probably not more than the Spaniards over there in Mallorca because of the Bad Bunny song. How many times did you
Mm,
hear that song while driving around?
not at all, yeah. I don't think
Oh
they're really
wow.
radio people over there. There was only one the only time I heard music was when a Italian man started singing opera at one of the coves, and he just belted and it would echo through the rockways. That was quite,
Yeah, dude.
romantic.
Who has more confidence, the opera singer in Italy or the tube girl?
That's a good question. She
Damn. Yeah, I've listened to it quite a bit. I think it's nice that it's an hour and a half long, so I can just like
Mhm,
pick up where I left off every time I get in the
mhm.
car. Um, and yeah, I mean, fucking masterful as always. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude.
Drake can't go wrong at this point.
No, he's just and he's not I feel like he's not even needs to try anymore, you just gotta, like, hop on mic, say a few puns, and then head back to, the
Hmm.
hotel.
Hmm. I think there's a couple of really good moments lyrically on the album that I want to talk to you about.
Oh, of
Uh,
course, of course.
I have two written down. So one is obviously food related,
Mhm.
or at the very least eating. And here's how it goes, Ty. It says, "And if I fuck with you, then after I might eat it." I want to
Hmm,
talk to you about this line.
okay, interesting.
So Drake is obviously a munch,
Mhm.
but the thing that sticks out to me here is that he will eat it afterwards.
Right.
Thoughts on that?
Well, I think he wants to play with his food before he, dives in?
Yeah, dude. This mom would be like, "Hey, Aubrey, stop playing with your food and just eat it, okay?"
Yeah, yeah, and he
Mom, I'll eat
just
it
took that
after.
too seriously.
Yeah.
Damn,
Wow.
certified mama's boy.
Yeah, dude. Mama's boy likes finger food.
Yeah.
The next one, Ty, is probably a little bit more zesty, but it goes, "Feel like I'm bi because you're one of the guys, girl."
Oh, yeah. So this line's making waves in, the meme community right now.
Hmm.
This is not the first
So
time Drake has mentioned being a lesbian.
that's right, Ty. He is no longer a certified lesbian boy. He is instead a bi dog.
Mhm. Bye, dog. Hmm.
Good for him.
Who
I'm happy for him. You know, I mean, really opens up his options. Not that he needed more, but it sounds like he's having trouble finding the one. You know, so now he's just got to marry one of the boys.
I
It's
think
come to that
so.
point.
Perhaps, though, he means a different type of bi. Maybe he's bi-coastal, the way he's got soldiers all around North America. Perhaps it's maybe we're reading into it the wrong way, Eric.
So you're saying his Glock got a switch, and so it's bisexual?
Exactly.
Wow.
Is that a 21 line?
I think it's Nardo Wick.
Oh, shit. It's funny. Uh,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, so it's probably though, you're probably correct that it is, he's just unlucky in love because I feel like this album, Eric, I feel like this album is the most disgruntled Drake we've ever heard. You could tell he's
Hmm.
sexually frustrated or intimately frustrated or just frustrated in general with
Mm-hmm.
the situation he finds himself in. Money
Mm-hmm.
may be not enough for this man. It'd be enough for me if I was him, but
But who's to say? You know what I mean? We might get in that position and then more money, more problems. Bring on the
that's true.
problems.
Bring on the problems. So and bring on the 757 for Think Fresh. We could
Yeah,
really use
exactly.
that.
Hmm. Um, did you see the Joe Budden response to the album where he was like criticizing Drake for never growing up, like going Peter
Mhm.
Pan mode and singing about the same old stuff over and over again, like a young 20-year-old Drake did at one point?
Yeah, well, sloppy Joe Budden doesn't understand that that is just Drake's lifestyle, you know? Drake never grew up
Exactly.
because he never needed to.
That's right. He even had the Peter Pan, the flying Peter Pan at at the concert.
Mhm.
So I don't know how we can make it more clear. He's singing to his younger self on stage. He's longing for the days where he had no responsibilities. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Now he's basically the mayor of Toronto.
Basically. They elected a kid.
They elected a kid, exactly.
It's inner child's
Um,
play, you know? That's what's happening
exactly.
here, his imagination. But
Hmm.
I
But
get
poor
that. I don't
Joe
wanna grow
Budden,
up
though.
either. Me and Drake are something in common, which is we're both Zoomers at heart.
That's right. Poor Joe Budden, though. Do you think he knew what was going to happen? Do you think he knew he was going to get clapped so hard immediately following his comments?
I don't think so because the dude's full-time job is dropping takes. So I felt like maybe he thought at some point one of my takes will go viral, but he I don't think he thought it would be this bad for him, you know? Like, he's
Hmm.
taking heat right now and not like
Yeah,
s sweet chili heat. It's more
yeah,
like
that's true.
a volcanic
Um,
eruption of sorts.
but you know what? Drake and Joe Budden have a long-standing beef.
Mhm.
This is actually a well-documented feud, Ty. Um, yeah, basically it goes back till God knows how when, but oh, actually, I'm looking now.
Are
May
you on, like,
2016.
To the Drake or some sort of blog?
Exactly. Um, Yeah, I mean, Budden's always been critical of Drake. Drake dissed him. You know, it's all the same. It's all
Mhm.
the same beefs. You know what I mean? They just take turns dissing each other. Budden
Mhm.
even made a song in 2018, I think, 2016, where he disses the rapper Aubrey.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, I think it's just funny to make fun of him. But I thought the best part was when Drake screenshotted his fedora case and then posted it. Did you see that?
Yes, dude, that was so funny. I didn't even notice it in the photo until I saw the cropped and zoomed version. Who carries around a fedora case?
I mean, it's like one level further than it needed to be. You know what I mean? It's like you
Mhm.
don't even need to be wearing a fedora ever
I know.
or any kind of brimmed hat.
Yeah. There
It's
should only be one
unbelievable.
brim, and it should point forward like a duck bill, and any more than that is
Hmm.
too much brim.
Exactly. Um, but you know, as a fellow podcaster, Ty, I have to.
We have to defend
Um,
Joe.
we have to be Joe Budden apologists. You know,
Mhm.
it's not his fault.
Mhm.
It's his job. He's just doing his job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Journalism comes with a cost, and sometimes that's your name,
yeah,
your
dude,
reputation.
absolutely. What's more what's a more dangerous job, being a journalist for the hip hop community or being a journalist in like Israel? Like
Ooh,
what's
it's a
more
really
dangerous?
dude, you're gonna be on blast either way.
Yeah. You're going to be under fire
Yeah.
by, people either shooting actual missiles at you or
Mhm.
just hot comments.
Wow, taking shots either way. Yeah, I don't know,
That's right.
it's hard to compare, honestly.
Hmm.
But
Lucky for us, though, you can't come at us. You know what I mean? We got shooters in every corner.
mhm,
We got Drake on our side as well.
mhm, mhm, Drake
And
is, pro think fresh. That's true.
that's right. You
He's
can really easily see that he eats at Subway. Just do a quick Google search,
Drake eating
and
at
that's it.
Subway. Yep, there it is. Thousands of images.
There you go. Um, Ty, anything else before we close? Is there anything from your trip that you want to discuss? Any I don't know, creepy Latinos?
No, we'll save that for another episode. Thank you,
Okay.
breadheads, for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you enjoyed the new Drizzy Drake album as much as Eric and I have. We'll come to you with some
Hmm.
more deep cut lyrics next episode.
Beautiful. We'll talk to you on Friday. Ciao.
Ow!